guys, Designated Inquirer here again. It is the day of the World Series, and I wanted to talk about a particular topic. That is a kind of investing. Now, why would I know anything about it? I used to trade a little bit with my dad. I have my degree in economics back when I was getting my degree, which was around 2009, 2007, etc. I basically got to see the financial collapse firsthand. And there were a lot of things that I remember from those times that are like, man, why didn't I do this? Why didn't I do that? Etc. Things that I had thought at the time, like, maybe if we did this, could that pay off? Well, it turns out one of those things was actually kind of true, which was of the most affected industry, to spread out basically like bets throughout the industry, and of the ones that recover would basically more than make up for any losses that you may have, total losses even, of other companies. Now, I'm not licensed as a broker or anything like that, so take my advice as only an opinion. That's it. And so right now, what I'm looking at the World Series right now, I'm looking for ways to make money. I'm always looking for ways to make money. Whether or not that's like selling Pokemon cards, whether or not that's like grading them, whether or not, like, I don't know. That's just how my brain works, and I probably a lot of everybody else's as well. It's probably not that special. So, but one way to make the game fun, short of actually gambling, is to buy signed memorabilia and or other kinds of memorabilia that you might want. So in a way, you're being a collector, which is not illegal in any sense of the word, and you're kind of partaking in the collecting and the trading of like things that are part of your favorite sport, industry, etc., whatever. So at the beginning of this postseason, I may have mentioned that I'm a lifelong Dodger fan because I inherited it, but never really because it was something that I paid attention to, that I like looked after like 100% of the time. But one thing that I did recently at the start of the postseason, or near the end of the initial postseason, like near the NCLB championships, you guys might like trash me in the comment section if I get that wrong, etc. or whatnot. It's okay. The important thing is that around the end of the NCLB championship, Kike Hernandez hit 3 home runs, one of them being a grand slam. So he's now become in a small pocket of kind of elite players. Whether or not the rest of his career ends up being fruitful or not remains to be seen. But what I can say right now is that he's now part of a special group, in that he's one of 10 people that have gotten 3 at least, I don't know if it's 3 or more, but 3 home runs in a postseason game. Apart from that, he's the only one that has had 7 RBIs. So when that happened, when they spit off that statistic, it made me think, this makes him kind of special. What can I do, or what would other people think the same thing? So that's where you start forming a hypothesis about like what can possibly happen. And so I started looking online, and it turns out that before this, even though Kike Hernandez is in the major leagues, etc. or whatnot, he hasn't really been a really prolific player yet. And so when I went to go look at his rookie card and stuff, even a signed rookie card, it didn't seem like it was all that expensive compared to others like Clayton Kershaw or Turner or Puig. So when I went to go look at his signed autograph, it wasn't that expensive. And I thought, well, why not? Let's take not exactly a gamble, but more of a vested interest in his success by buying his signed rookie card. And so I bought it. And apart from that, I also saw that his signed ball, well, at least to me at the time, didn't seem all that expensive either. So I said, well, why the heck not? Let's roll the dice again and see if anything can come of this. And so I bought the ball and the autograph card, and now I'm watching these games with a lot more vested interest because, in a sense, I have skin in the game. And so, to me, that's made the game a lot more fun, even though, like, maybe before this I wasn't exactly the greatest fan in the world, but now I'm, like, paying attention to whether or not Kiki's actually playing, to whether or not he's in the lineup, to whether or not, like, he hit an RBI, to, like, if he got somebody out by catching from his position, etc. Like, all these things, like opened up to me as in being important to how I follow the game. And I think that if you guys love baseball and or any other sport, it would be pretty cool to probably have like a signed rookie card or like a piece of memorabilia that's well within your reach, like affordable reach, that you could be like, well, if you buy like a few like Starbucks or whatever, if all it takes is not having Starbucks for a week, that you could have like a piece of history basically, and would let you enjoy this sport, this hobby a lot more, then I don't see why you wouldn't take that opportunity. Well, essentially that's just from personal experience, but in a way it's also kind of like a form of an investment vehicle, only it's tied to a thing that you vastly enjoy more than like stocks and bonds and treasuries and a bunch of other things, stock options, etc. So that's my 2 cents about what I think is probably an interesting and fun idea for future seasons of whatever sport you like to watch, etc. And maybe even to share something with your kids, because it can also be something you can pass down. Apart from that, any increase in the valuation of these things aren't necessarily like taxed, because who goes around searching for people's collectibles and seeing whether or not they've increased in value? So yeah, it could be somewhat of an alternative way to invest money. Again, I'm not licensed by any state, by any board, by anything like that. This is just a personal opinion about how to make watching baseball or any other sport a little more fun. And maybe you get like an increase in profit, but you could lose not everything, because it's still an object and it still has something. But if the player ends up getting injured, or if his season or career gets cut short, then that was the end of that. But you still like the player, you still like the sport, and so if you're just collecting as a hobby, you're really not losing a whole lot. So again, there's always risk with any investment vehicle. You should always do the research yourself to see if what you want to do is appropriate or whatnot. And yeah, that's my 2 cents. Well, I'm gonna go home right now. I'm gonna finish cooking. I'm gonna make lunch, and I'm gonna watch this World Series game. And go Dodgers. And yeah, all right. I'll see you guys later. I'll probably put up a couple of codes here at the end, or somewhere in between. But yeah, thanks guys. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends if you want them to have codes also or whatnot. But yeah, all right. Take care, guys. Bye.